one I had to put up, and then there's Charlie, the older one. So if you see something floating in the background,
I saw him. He's okay.
That's a whiskey brown chocolate doodle who refuses to go in kennel. He says, I don't do kennels. I'm 12 for kennels.
Where are we? There it is.
You found this? It's not popping up for me yet.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, here we go.
All right, let's get this popping.
All right.
I can't wait. I don't want to waste no time.
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? It is another Wednesday, and we are live in the house for season 5, episode 6 of Hits and Heels. We're excited. We have a legend in the house, another legend. I feel like this whole, for like the last month since we started season, well, really the end of season 4, all the way through season 5, it's been nothing but legends. And let me tell you why, because my girl Terry is on the board of directors for Lexington African-American Sports Hall of Fame. And I haven't been yet. All I've seen are pictures, so I'm real jealous. Like I'm feeling some kind of way because I've been working so much that I haven't been able to like go. I got to catch her when she came to Ohio, so that made me feel a little bit better. But she gets to meet and rub elbows and take pictures with Hall of Famers, all from Lexington, Kentucky. Everybody is from Kentucky. And when I tell you, these people are like, some of them are hidden gems. It amazes me that so many people have flown under the radar, right? But tonight, I'm excited because I grew up watching American Gladiators. And we have our girl, Victoria Gay, Jazz, American Gladiator. So, I'm about to, for those of you who don't, okay, because she hasn't aged, so y'all should really
at all.
Okay, they say black don't crack, honey. Black
ain't cracking nowhere over there.
It ain't sagging, it ain't wrinkling, it ain't cracking nothing. I'm trying to listen. What is the secret? Is it really simply drink water and mind your business? Because I can do that, right? So, Jazz, welcome to the show. For those of you that may not recognize her, maybe you recognize this. Hold on. I put it. It's in the background. So y'all hold on for 1 second. Hold on. Okay.
Wow.
Man.
I was trying to think back. And why was I not smiling? Because I'm always smiling.
Because you were a gladiator. Like gladiators, we're not smiling when we're going into competition, right?
Well, I can tell you some stories. So they used to tell us all the time, you guys are too nice. Don't get them up off the floor. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. That's teamwork. You get them down. Everybody gets up at the same time. So no, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So welcome to the show. For those of you who are not familiar with the show, I don't know how you're not. If you're watching, you should know the drill by now. Head to youtube.com/hits and heels. Banner scrolling at the bottom. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you become a subscriber so that every time we go live and post a new video, you get the notification. You can also follow us, like our Facebook page. Most of you are watching on Facebook right now. So, hey out there to everybody in Facebook world, YouTube land. let's get this show on the road because I have wasted too much time. We're already 5 minutes into this show. We know that this hour goes by really, really fast. So, welcome, Jazz, Victoria,
Thank you.
Legend,
Thank you so much.
Miss Gay.
You know, I really appreciate
I'm totally in a fangirl moment right now. So you have to forgive me because I literally, like, my brother and I used to sit down and watch American Gladiators. And then he would practice the moves on me.
You know, thank you so much for this venue. I really appreciate being here. I remember coming off the stage and Coach Terry, because I'm called Coach Terry because she heard all that. When Coach Terry asked me to be on board, I did a quick snapshot at my son because I'm thinking, I don't know if I should do it. Should I not? Because I haven't done a podcast or radio show in years. When I say probably about 20 years, it's been a minute. And so I looked at him real quick and I was like, she must be pretty cool. So I say that, and I've had a conversation with her a little before now, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you very much.
No, it is our pleasure because, again, I was telling, I don't know who I was telling somebody. Growing up, I had two Black females that I was just, I think, not emulated, but I was just enamored with. And you were freaking one of them. I mean, you and Linda Murray. Because there was no other Black females back in that time that depicted fitness and health and strength. I mean, muscles is a sign of strength, right? To me, I heard that from Eddie Long one time. He said muscles is the sign of strength. And so it just really, really did something to me. And so I was just, I did not miss American Gladiators. And then it would be mad if you weren't on that particular episode or whatever like that, because we just wasted our whole time.
I mean, but just
like, where is Jazz?
Yeah, what? Like, y'all, look at this. Look at the arms, like the
man.
You got stuff.
You see what I'm saying? like that wasn't seeing women with muscle wasn't something that was popular at that time. And so and how I even saw Linda Murray was I just happened to be flipping through like a muscle magazine, waiting in a grocery store. I think one day was how I came across Linda Murray. She just happened to be in the magazine. Otherwise, I don't know how I would have been able to get to, we didn't have all the internet and all this stuff that we have now. But American Gladiator show was on primetime TV at that particular time, and it was just amazing just to see a Black woman in that. I mean, you was better than Wonder Woman to me. Like that was my Wonder Woman at that time. Because Wonder Woman was on at the same time, right? She was like watching Wonder Woman. Was like watching Wonder Woman.
She was the Black woman.
So
she was a Black Wonder Woman to me, like literally, because of
you were the Black version of Wonder Woman. Yes.
The uniform, you literally looked like Wonder Woman. Like it was like, wait a minute. And I remember being younger and thinking like, but the cartoon is white, but wait a minute, she look like me, but that looks like Wonder. Listen, you could not tell me that Jazz and Wonder Woman were not the same person.
Facts. That is so amazing to me because I hear you all's story, and the same way you all were trailing, I was trailing too. Speaking about Linda Murray, when I first started into the workout world, that's working out for a reason as to why I was muscular. Because when I was a kid, you're considered to be a freak because you look so different. And so as I went through life, I was always trying to figure out who am I and why do I look like I do? Why is it that I don't look like the kid next to me who's, 8 years old and I'm, 3 feet taller than she is? Why is it that, I'm the color I am and I look so much different? It was always trying to find that commonality amongst somebody I could look at. So when I started along the bodybuilding phase, which started at the YMCA downtown Houston. I was always working out there after work because I worked as an engineer tech for traffic and transportation for Houston. And the manager there for the YMCA was putting on a bodybuilding competition. So she came to me personally and said, would you be interested in being basically a candidate for it? And when she asked me that, a bell went off. I'm like, that's what I am. I'm a bodybuilder, you know? I was like, that's what I'm going to do. So from that point on, I started off in bodybuilding. And my goal was to, you know, do my best. If I win, fine. If I don't, but at least I'm a bodybuilder. That's, you know, that's why I look like I am. So that's my excuse. You know, I use it as an excuse because people wouldn't accept it. They just couldn't marinate that there would be somebody with muscles. And why do you have muscles? And like I was saying, when I was a kid, you were considered to be a freak. And as you got older, well, you must be lying because people just don't have muscles like that. I'm going, but if you look at my daddy, you looked at my aunts, we were all kind of like that. So as the story went on, at one of my competitions, guess who I had to look up to? Guess who I was looking up to? Linda Mary. Linda Mary, because she was the first black woman.
She was the first one.
First one. So when I hear you say that, it was Linda Mary, because she came to my competition as a I can't even think of the name right now, but she was pro gas basically. Okay. And so she did the
poser or something.
Poser, exactly. And so everybody's like, you know, they start comparing, you can be the next Linda Mary. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be the next Linda Mary. Did you hear that? Yeah, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm gonna be next Linda Mary. So my thing was every competition, it would always take me 2 years to get ready for it. So my first one was within 2 years of when she asked me to do it. And then I won that one overall. And I went to the next one, I won overall. And on my third one, I won it overall. And then after that, it was like, okay, well, they said, what are you going to do now? Because, you know, you do look like Miss Linda Mary. You know, once you make a few changes here, bring your shoulders up, take your head, all that kind of stuff. This is, you know, that was my next window of opportunity. So I thought. So that was my plan until the Gladiators came along. Like Dana was talking, sitting on the couch, I did the same thing. I was sitting on the couch looking at the Gladiator show, and I was like, I can do that. I reached out to some people in California because that's where the show was being filmed. And I was like, you know, tell me more about this. You know, how can I go about getting on this show? And it just so happens, tell you about a small world. I was told by the individual who was a photographer, and he said, oh, I know so-and-so. And they happened to be on the Gladiators too. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I planned a trip, put a little trip together, went out there because I'm thinking, Gladiators, this statuette. And I go out there and I get a chance to meet them, and they're about 5 feet tall. What? And I was 5 feet tall. And I was like, oh, I could do this. So the story begins. And that's how it all started. I was told the Gladiators were coming to Houston. And if I wanted to try it as a contender, I could be that. So they came to Houston. And I mean, you
probably killed them as a contender, didn't you?
Well, you know, when I was the first one there because I didn't want to be late. I don't like to be late, nothing. And so I didn't want to be late. And I remember sitting in the car and people start showing up. And, you know, as a competitor, you're not sure if you got to go against them or not. So I'm trying to flag them down. Okay, yeah, I think I could take that one. Yeah, I think I could take that. Oh, that right down. I'm going to do it that one. You know, it was like that. So I sat there and I noticed a car pulled behind me and they pulled really close. And I thought, man, all this space out here, can't they just, you know, give me a little room? So it turns out to be this person steps out of the car and I see him stepping out. And I was like, you know what? I need to make my move. But, you know, everybody started to move up to the line. I'm kind of getting an idea of what they're setting up, you know, chin ups and all these other type of drills that they wanted us to run. And so when I get out of the car, this guy gets out and I'm trying to get myself together and he walks up to me. And I thought, well, this is kind of odd. And he's got two-tone blonde hair and he doesn't look like he's from Houston. That's the first thing. And he had this stick in his hand. I mean, like a Moses stick. And he bopped on over to me and stuff like that. And the comment that came out of his mind was, you think you can handle this? And I said, yeah, I think I have this. And so I walked on, went through the intervals of what they wanted us to do. And the next thing I noticed when we got to the very end, these kids were standing on the other side of this camera. And they told us before we could walk off the field, which was the last event, they told us, you need to make a comment to the Gladiators. What would you like to say to them? I didn't know what to say. So I leaned into the camera and I said, I'm coming.
Rabbit.
So I was out and I thought, man, couldn't I come up with something more clever? Whatever. So I walking around, get to the car, and these same kids that were standing over the camera walked up to me and they were chopping on something. And they said, so when you become a gladiator, what's going to be your name? And I was like, huh? So yeah, when you what are you gonna do? And I was like, I don't know. And that's kind of how it all started as far as trying out for the gladiators. But it's definitely it came up to name Jazz. Well, when the competition took place on a Saturday, they called me Monday about I think it's late on that afternoon. They called me and said, we want to apologize. We don't have a spot for a contender. And I thought, that's just like, I guess that's how California people are. They need to call you and tell you didn't make it. They could have just not called. And he said, but we do have a spot for a gladiator. Would you be interested? And of course, on the other side, I'm jumping like a fish out of water. And I said, yeah, sure, I'd be very interested in becoming a gladiator. Then the next thing I looked up, he says, well, okay, and your name's going to be Athena. I don't know. They could have called me Tomato. I wouldn't have cared. Right. I was going in. I was like, fine. He says, someone's going to get in contact with you later. And, just stay, stay aware of that. Just be, once they call you, make sure you respond quickly. And I said, okay. They go through the process. They send out this huge contract. And I go through all that, send it out, and then I fly out and I meet all the gladiators. And we're going through different games that they set up for us and whatnot. And we get to a point where they have so many gladiators, they decide to make the first time in the season they decided to do that, they decided to make an A team and a B team. Well, I was working, and I work as an analyst, and my company let me go for a month or however long I needed, but a reasonable time to perform as a gladiator. So I figured if I was going to be on the B team, then I'm just probably going back to Texas and, live out my life. Thank you very much. Bye bless, and I'm out of here. Well, I remember we were doing a game called Hang Tough, and I came off the apparatus and I came across the table and he said, hey, come on, I want to tell you something. And I said, yeah. I said, hey, we decided you definitely want to put you on the A team. I said, okay, that's fine. Woo-hoo. And he said, so, but what name do you want? Because I understand you don't really want Athena. And I said, well, just listen to the other guys. From what I hear, Athena's been put on all the women. So I probably wouldn't want it either. I said, yeah, I would like to have something different. And then somebody said, well, what about Jazz? And I said, oh, that sounds nice. They said, yeah, because we always see you in the corner somewhere dancing all the time. So why don't we just call you Jazz? And I was like, yeah. Woo-hoo. Well, the story with the name is that the name had already been used before. And it's in their protocol is not to use the name twice. But they said, no, but in this instance, if that's what you want, that's what we're going to call you. So that's how I became Jazz. So, people say, well, do you play the instrument? I can play it, but not excellent. I'm more of a violinist and, playing the piano. Those are my tools. Yeah, that's how it all started. I became the name Jazz. And plus they told me Jazz would be easier to sign than Athena. So, it's all the things they came up with, but that's how I came up with the name Jazz. And I've actually incorporated in billings and all kinds of stuff, even though it's not my official name. I put it in there anyway. So you put your credit, something like that, you'll see Jazz.
You'll see Jazz is still about. That was going to be my next question: is do you still refer to yourself as Jazz?
When someone calls me Jazz, I know it has something to do with the show, because I could be going down the street and it's like, hey, Jazz, and I'm going, oh, Gladiator. And they say Victoria, I'm like, oh, it must be somebody I work with, something along that line. But yeah, I love it. It was a wonderful season. The journey of being a gladiator, things I've got a chance to do, the people that I've met, the friends I still have. It's just priceless and endless. It's a door that I would like to think that I probably could have done it in another fashion, but not in that style. Not in that style. And I love it. I mean, my life has really been a blessing. It is a blessing. It's
okay. So you were a state champion out of Bryan Station.
Mm-hmm.
No Defenders, Station Nation. Shout out to them. Was a state championship in the shot put and the discus, and got a scholarship to Western Kentucky. Yes. So why did you transfer from Western Kentucky to Texas Southern?
I did. And that's an interesting story. At Western Kentucky, which I love the university, I probably would have never left it if the situation had not changed. But they were experiencing some financial issues, and one of the first places that they decided to cut was track. They weren't cutting out track,
Oh,
the they were going to cut us back as far as money goes and what have you. And it was already a bit on the lean side, so it's very difficult for me to go any leaner as far as how much we eat and what have you. All those staples were really being cut back, and so I had an opportunity to go two different places. One was at Texas Southern, and the other one was actually Alabama Crimson Tide. And had I known someone at Alabama Crimson Tide,
right.
I probably would have gone to Alabama Crimson Tide.
Okay.
But I knew someone at Texas Southern.
Okay.
And that's how I ended up at Texas Southern.
Okay, gotcha. So how did you choose your major?
My major actually started off in physical education. And that was something I felt very comfortable with. It was in line with with the sports and the arena that I, basically functioned in. I was sitting in class one day, and with anyone, we always get the advisors that come up and talk to you. And I was sitting in a chemistry class, and I always spent time with my instructors after class, just kind of shooting the bull, just trying to get them acclimated to me so that when the grading test, they give me the benefit of the doubt kind of thing. That's my mama in me kind of thing. So I was actually asked to meet with this particular individual, and they were looking for women to go into petroleum. And when they showed me a lot of different caviars, I thought, okay, what that means to me, if you're in that arena, then you're considered smart. So that wanted to be looked at as being smart. So I said, okay, I could do that. And they said, and then too, the money is so much greater. And I'm like,
I bet the money is unbelievable.
I was like, I don't know about this. But the problem being is that the courses that they were presenting to us at the time was not yet approved to become a 4-year program. But they said at the stage you're at right now, by the time you get to this point, it will be. And that's kind of like how it started. It was, it got up to the point where I was at a point where I was doing my co-op with ARCO. And I remember going in and talking to a representative from ARCO, and they had to decide on who was going to be their candidate to, who they were going to bring in and share, their experiences, whatever. And to give a punt to the university that I went to in my interview, and once they finished, they decided that I was going to be the candidate. But they told me that they felt that even at that point, they felt that I was overqualified. And that really made me feel good to know that someone pulled my coattail to pull me that way. And then the courses and what have you that they instilled in me really propelled me more than I was prepared to,
I love that.
Yeah, so
I'm a backtrack. Y'all, I didn't say nothing about her bio. I got her whole bio right here. Y'all, not only was she the gladiator, so it started off in high school where she helped her team win 3 state championships in a row.
Coach.
3. Who does that? Was that the last time that has happened? If we go in the record books right now, I guarantee Bryan Station or no other school in Fayette County or probably in Lexington, well, maybe in Kentucky, has gotten 3 state championships in a row. I mean,
that's incredible.
That doesn't happen, sis.
Right?
And then y'all, listen, qualified for the Olympic trials.
Right.
You were a beast.
That was blessing.
You were a beast.
Do you know that's the first time my mom ever saw me throw? Yeah,
was that the Olympic trials?
Olympic trials. There's a story behind that.
Wow.
Okay.
When I was in sports, my mom was totally against it. She refused to be a part of it. She didn't think she didn't think that should be the road I should travel. That's not going to lead to anything. I mean, she had great intentions. My mom was, nurse and all that. So she had great intentions. She just wanted to make sure that, I got a square deal on things because she knew that the the life I'd already developed, had and everything. So she was looking out for me, and I understand that. But at the same token, it was just very difficult to sneak around because I did a whole lot of sneaking around. My mom couldn't find
so
me.
You are an athlete behind your mama's back.
Behind my mama's back.
Now, how did you manage that?
Because my mom, as long as we did what she asked us to do, she didn't micromanage us.
Okay.
You come in at a certain time, you make sure you stay in school, you don't create problems, you're not a problem child. I learned at an early age, as long as you don't get become a radar in front of my mama, she's good to go. She'll never know. Kind of thing. So, to her, I was always out playing, running in, drinking a gallon of milk, heading back out again, that sort of stuff. As long as I didn't create problems for her, she was good to go. But
yeah. Oh, wow. What an amazing story.
It wasn't until I went into Olympic trials she decided to, to come on board and stuff like that. Yeah, I went to school, on a scholarship and stuff like that. But she was kind of like, oh, well, yeah, okay, well, that's nice, but, still.
It was about your education.
Right. Yeah. She still
how did you navigate that without having your mom's support at first?
Well, keep in mind that, I had my child at an early age, so I wasn't up underneath her roof for the most part. And I shared a little bit while I was there at the ceremony and everything that, I had a child at an early age, and what my mom felt was best is that I have my own place. So I had my own apartment. I was still going to school. I learned that in order to survive in life, I was going to have to put forth a plan and execute it, and with the kid in tow. And my motto was always, even back then, things are always on the positive side. Now I call it, the cup is half full. It's not empty. And I had to look at it that way because when having a child at an early age in Kentucky, you're definitely not honored. If you know what I mean. It's not one of those things. If anything, it's more things like, don't get in her space because we don't want you to be like that. We don't want that to happen to you, kind of thing. So I had to decide early, and that's why I say I live by the grace of God and the anointing of God in my life, because there are things that I was able to derive with the grace of God. In other words, plans, ideas, knowing how to do certain things. I had foresight, I had fortitude on a lot of stuff that people my age shouldn't have had, and executed it. And I never did drugs. I was not alcoholic. I didn't, I wasn't on the streets. My thing was, I have a child, and I have to, it's not that I wanted to prove people wrong, but I wanted to prove that I'm not going to be that person that from this point on I'm going to be something less than, So I just kept working at it. Like my biggest thing, I'll put forth a plan and then I execute it. And my thing was with my son, whenever I tried to, or when I would make decisions, they were always based around him. What's going to happen if I do this? What's going to happen in the long run if he sees something like this? It was important to me that he know that, I'm a mama, I'm your mama, and I'm not going to be one of those, mama, I saw your mama out on the corner. I never wanted anything like that. I never wanted anybody to say that when you have a child at an early age, this is what happens. This is the stupidity that comes with it. No, that's not true. That happened, but that just happened. It doesn't mean I have to conform to that negativity.
Absolutely.
So, I just had to do away with that.
And I think that's so powerful what you say about not, allowing an adverse situation to determine who you become. Like you are not the challenges you face. You are the person that navigates through those things and finds the positivity and the good stuff out of life. And what was it like? We have a question in the chat from Jennifer. What role did your coaches play in your success? And then I have a follow-up question.
Role. And I have to say, the person that was my mentor, mom, member of my team, all the M's, was Coach Reba Woodall. She was my sounding block. She was my confidant. She was just, she was everything I needed at that time, for that season, for that molding, for the confidence, for the, you know, being objective. She was everything to me. And I don't think she realized that. I didn't realize how grave it was until I got older, that how important the foundation she helped me. She helped me to, when people were not saying very positive things to me or not treating me, you know, nicely, I put it like that. I know I could always migrate over to her room. And I mean, we didn't even have to say anything. I just had a safe haven to sit in front of her and just, you know, look at her. And every now and then she'd look over and say, "You doing okay?" Like, you know, but that's what I needed. So my mentor, the person who helped me more than I could ever, I can't say enough about it, was Coach Reba Woodall.
How did it feel when you saw her? Oh my God! I'm so sorry. When you saw her at the gala, because you know Jennifer and them honored them because she did play such a huge role. I didn't know you were included in that as well. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God! I'm sorry.
Listen.
Yeah. I was really concerned because I wasn't able to get in contact with her, and we later found out why. But to see her, because I text her. I had communicated with her once I got once I accepted the induction. So I wanted to make sure that she was there, because she was there when I was inducted into the Brown Station Hall of Fame. Okay. And I just like, you know, she was like the first thing I was thinking. I got to make sure. I want her to be there. I want to be at my table in my yard. So, but when I kept asking my son, well, even at the day of the event, I said, "Have you seen Coach Woodall?" He said, No. So I like to sit there, and I just felt like, I mean, I was there, but I was always panning around, hoping that I would see her, hoping that I didn't know how she was going to make it. I didn't know how she would get a word that, you know, just please, I just need to put my eyes on you. Yeah. So when I looked up and saw at my table, oh God.
And to me, and that right there is just the impact that the Lexington African-American Sports Hall of Fame, I think, just has, just honoring you, bringing Reba up, and just bringing awareness to these people in the sports community here in Lexington, and how much of an impact that they have had. And I'm the same way. My coaches, sports saved my life. And so my coaches have played such a huge role in my life, because I was like you. I can name 3. I played basketball, volleyball, ran track, was all state. And I know 3 basketball games. My mom never saw me run. She never saw me play volleyball. I think she saw 3 basketball games, and that was it.
And that's why, like, I'm gonna call Coach Reba and I'm gonna tell her I need to change this label relationship. You need to be Coach Mama Rudolph.
Coach Mama.
You got to be my mama. You know, I mean, my mom loved me dearly, and I know she would truly understand, but that's what she is like to me. Because, you know, I think back in that day and time, women are people like us, the color like us, to have someone like her stand in the gap for us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It just wasn't heard of. It wasn't something that.
I bet. Especially at 80s.
Oh,
yeah.
Ain't no way.
Not gonna happen. Because I had a chance to go.
Especially with a child. You know, you were often shunned, and everything was a secret.
Yeah.
You know,
Coach Paul was the same way. They loved their kids, and it wasn't just track. They loved us. Period. Whatever, you know, to them, we were their kids. They didn't. We were just people you weren't going to mess with. That's just all it was to it, you know. And it. I saw them act like that with the kids on the track team, but just in general, everybody knew that, you know, you can always go to them, and it's going to be objective. It's going to be, you know, with love, but you're going to get the flat out truth and fact about it. No, you're wrong about that. No, nope, we're not going to do that. Paul, you know, what do you think about this?
I think that the way everybody spoke about, God, I hope some of my kids speak about me like that one day.
Yes.
Because you just that is the impact. Like my husband gets that now.
See,
Bryant does. My husband gets that now. I mean, when we'll be someplace, and I'm talking about, they're going crazy. Oh my God, you're Coach Bryant. You coached me when I was. I mean, they're going through it, and it is so amazing to see that, and just to see the impact that a coach just has. And I hope one day I have that same impact.
Oh, you do, and they'll come back and they'll tell you. I mean, it's not like it's a specific thing that you do. It could be that one word. It could be one little word that can make a difference. It could be like, man, you did a good job on that one, or you're looking pretty good. I see you working hard. Just any little thing. That's why when I see kids, and there are three of my loves. I love kids, I love seniors, and I love animals. Those are my, and there's no particular order, but those are the things. I got one rolling around here now that I'm trying to calm down. Play. Charlie, we're not playing right now, but those are the key staples that I love in my life. And so to have a coach like I've had that had so much focus on me, and she saw what I was going through and just stuck with me through and through and believed in me. My mom believed in me too, but when you have somebody at a facility that you spend a lot of your time with, time there, and then to know that when you're going through something, mama can't come up there and sit with you, but I can roll over to Coach Reba's office and I can just sit there, and when I come out of there, I got strength. I can stand up straight because I got somebody who loves me. I got somebody who thinks I'm all that in the bag of chips, basically. Right. So she helped me stand tall when I walked through those hallways. Didn't matter if you didn't speak to me. That's okay. I'm fine, because you see, I'm somebody. I got somebody who cares about me. So yeah, she's so yeah, yours is coming. It's there. It's already there. They just haven't learned how to tell you and how to show you, but it's definitely there. Coaches are so important. That's why it's important that we make sure we wean out the bad coaches, because a bad coach can create problems for a child.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure that we stay on that for the most part. We got a few down here we got rid of, but we love our kids, so but for the most part, if I was thinking about football is very, very big down here in Texas. You probably know that.
Oh yeah, it's huge. They do not play about no football in Texas.
No, they do not. Not at all. I mean, you see buses going down to games, and they're like, you got 5 police cars in the front, 5 in the back. They're stopping traffic and everything. And, they know school buses, and they see the lights in the stadium down the road. People I know it's sad to say, but I believe they'll move faster for a school bus with football players than an ambulance going down the street.
And you're probably absolutely right.
That's just the way it is. It'd be like, okay.
But I think sports, I think, has been, earlier, when we first started our podcast, I think Danny and I had that conversation, just how sports it's kind of like that when it comes to discrimination. Sports just seems to just bring people together and let them put whatever their differences are. They can put their differences aside at that particular, and at that moment during that game, or with that particular player or whatever like that. And I think, sports has really just brought a lot of people to get people to change their hearts about things. I think sports kind of helped to, catapult.
Yeah, I think it definitely bridges the gap. Yeah, it bridges the gap between cultures and relationships, and it helps, in my opinion, to bring everybody, gives them a reason to come back to the table, to have a discussion, to communicate and say, I was thinking about that. What do you think about so and so? Because now they're open. It opens them up to be more acceptable, or at least hear what you have to say. They may not agree, but then they also, can come on a point where we agree to disagree, but now we can just move down along together. And so that's what sports have always done for me, because, you can bring up, what do you think about the Cowboys? Yeah, the Cowboys so-and-so, but hey, that's my team. That's my team over here. I like the Steelers, and it's just, and then, it just starts that way. It's a great starter. It has a lot of different marinades that it puts together. And I think that, like, I remember the 2 years we lost our football team because they did not want to build a stadium for them. So of course they became the Titans and went to Tennessee. Well, after 2 years, they built a stadium that is impressive. The NRGs, it's just 75,000 people, because they realized that how important it is to have a football team.
That football team in Houston.
Right.
In Houston. And then the basketball team said, we want our own arena. And then the soccer team said they want their own arena. And then the hockey team wants their own arena. And then the volley team. We got every arena that you can shake a stick at, because they realized, win or lose, sports is what you need to be a buffer between so many different variations, especially when you have a state like Texas, or city like Houston, to have so many diversities. You cannot just you can't shut down and just say, we're just going to have football, we're just going to have basketball, and maybe we're throwing baseball, blah, blah, blah. No, you got, soccer. You should see the stadium. It's beautiful. And I think Shell came in and redid the whole stadium. It looks like it's, on diamonds. It's gorgeous, and I've never been to a team, but I'm thinking about it, but it's just, you cannot have, I don't think you can have a really good round robin of things if you do not have sports incorporated in there somehow. Look at the University of Kentucky. They, Kentucky doesn't have a professional team, but you would think they did with UK.
You would think that they did between.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I got a locker at work that I have UK and blue all over. I got a license plate that says, Wildcats. That's what. And when they roll up and see me, they're like, "Huh?" Yep, I'm Kentucky. That would be me. But I'm proud of it. I'm very proud of it. I just can't say enough when it comes to sports. Sports has propelled me into so many different. Even when I think about it, it propelled me into the career that I have today. Because I transferred down to Texas Southern University, and things just started from there. So, it's just endless. So when you get a child who you don't know what to do, put them in sports. They'll figure it out.
I totally agree.
Put them in sports.
And I think we talk about that. We've talked about that even on our podcast. Just all the life lessons.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sports teaches, and even I haven't been on a job ever, and I can tell the difference between a supervisor that participated in sports as opposed to one that did not, because they are there's just something missing.
Yeah. I think the team aspects, like even if you are in an individual sport like gymnastics or track and field, you're still a part of a greater thing, right? You have to perform very, very well individually to help your team get an overall placement, right? So you're still part of a greater good, right? You're still part, you still have to do your part and perform really well to support the overall outcome of your team. Exactly. No different than, football and basketball and baseball, right? And like Terry said, we talk about it a lot because sports literally prepare you for so much. They prepare you for group projects when you get to college. Yeah. When you got someone that just doesn't want to carry their own weight, but you know what I'm saying? So they still get the benefits of your good performance, but at the time, does that mean that they're lesser of a person or lesser than a teammate? Or will it be you in those shoes sometimes where you don't have the greatest performance and someone else has to support you more? But then also looking at, when I first started in athletics at Hampton, one of the things that I learned were like people that worked at organizations like the NCAA, the NAIA, and or financial organizations. they looked for people that played sports. They were seeking out athletes because they knew that athletes already knew the importance of a team effort. They
Right.
are, you know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
so,
Yes.
or the coaches that are able to then transition back into the corporate world, and now they're CEOs and they're running corporations. Why? Because they learned as a coach, if they were a good coach, right?
Right. Right. Exactly.
They
Exactly.
learned how to lead. They learned
Mhm.
how to deal with so many different personalities
Exactly.
and habits, right? They learned how to transform somebody who had really bad eating habits or really
Mhm.
bad their work ethic wasn't the greatest, but now they've developed this person into this superstar, or maybe not even a superstar, right? But you are leaps and bounds above and beyond where you were before you met this coach, right?
Exactly.
The value of coaching, and I think about that when I listen to Terry talking about how her mom didn't come to her competitions, and your mom doing the same thing, and it's like the value. And then I look at my parents who were the coaches that y'all had, right? my
Yeah.
my parents were the ones where they still do. They still
Yes.
go to high school games, and they don't even know people at the high school anymore. They don't know anybody, but they still show up.
Uh-huh. See?
Or the friends that we had growing up who now have kids in high school and college or wherever, they're traveling to go see their games. They're going to their graduations and things like that. And so the importance of having that parent figure in your life as a student, as a child or young adult is so impactful. And we continue to hear stories about coaches who have literally stepped in when these young people needed it the most, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's literally saving lives.
It
It's
does. It
Mine
coaches
definitely
are,
was.
yeah. And we can't take that, um we can't dampen that. We can't minimize the impact of good coaches, right? Because good coaches are responsible. The- a lot of y'all, like Terry probably sees her student athletes more than their parents see them.
it's you speaking about coaches. One of the things I wanted to say is that coaches are, like I said, they're very important staple. And Terry, I think that as you go along, I look forward to hearing the stories that students are going to tell you. Um, there's something else I wanted to say, and I'm losing the train of thought about it. But it's not something that I think we should take lightly. I think it's something that we need to do as far as when it comes to these coaches that are out there, that we get behind them and support them, because they're human just like we are, and we need to make sure that they stay strong. So if it's something that we can do, or
Mm,
something we can sow into their life, maybe they might need a slight break on something, anything, but we need to now come back and see what is it that they need.
mm.
I, for one, when I roll back into Lexington, and before I get there, I want to see what I can do to bring something back into the community. And I think it would be very nice that the ones of us who are telling these stories, we now need to come back, though, all the alumni, we need to come back, group together and say, okay, now that they've sold into us, we need to sow back into them. What is it that they
Mm,
need? Let's get
mm.
them together and have and sit at the round table. And what
Yes,
is it that you need now? Because we're here now. We
Oh,
got
yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So
That's right.
Jennifer keeps coming up with the best questions.
yes.
So her next question is, how did it feel being back home in Lexington and walking the red carpet at the gala?
Oh, Lordy. I shared with Jennifer when they asked me about being nominated and everything, would I accept it? And I said this funny joke, and I know it might sound corny, but I wanted to shout when I landed on that carpet. I wanted to shout, "Mama, they like me." When I walked out, I was like, "Okay, stand up tall. Don't roll over. Don't fall. If you do, drop and roll." You know. But it was, Jennifer. I felt like a star. I felt like a queen. I felt like um, all the things that had happened in my past that weren't so good, all the sacrifices that coaches and other people have made for me to step onto this red carpet. I felt like I was bringing that all with me, and it felt like nothing you can put into words other than it felt good. It felt really, really good. And I just wanted to stand there. I was I was walking slow, but I just wanted to take it all in because I just wanted to see the faces of the people and acknowledge each and every one of them and thank them for coming and thank you for sewing into this and thank you and thank you. I couldn't say enough, and I didn't want to get off the carpet in case y'all didn't know.
Hey, because that dress you was killing. That dress you wore.
Oh, that dress is something else.
You came looking like $1,000,000. Absolutely. So you definitely wore well. And I'm not gonna lie. When you came off the stage and I walked up to you and I saw you up close and I had to catch my breath. I was like, oh my God. I was smitten. Like I ain't never been starstruck by nobody. Never. Last year, okay, Tyson Gay. I mean,
Tyson
Dawson. I saw all of them because who don't know them. So of course I was starstruck by them, but not like that when I see when I walked up next to you. I did it was something. It was something else. We appreciate you. What was your initial reaction when you got the call?
When I got the call, I was at work, and my son actually had to call me and stop me because when I first saw it, I thought, "Huh? What? Oh, okay." And then I went on to do something else because I was running this elaborate test and everything. And so when family calls, I stop on a dime. I mean, it could be I got to do it all over for the next 12 hours. I don't care. I'm going. And so my son called. He says, "Mom, did you get so and so? Yeah. You need to respond to this one, huh? Okay. So when I was talking to him, I was like, "Oh my God. Okay. What is this? Oh, this is what. Okay. And I had to really capture myself because at work, I really try to stay as neutral as I possibly can. I've got, they know my work ethics. I separate, one from the other. When I come through the door, you have me for the hours I'm there. And when I leave, it's all Victoria. But they were marinating together. And so I could not hold it. When I got off that phone, I told boss, I called HR, I called the plant manager. I called everybody. And then when they showed up, I was like, see, look. It was one of those things, even when I get back, because I haven't gone back to work yet. I took a good vacation. I was like, I'm going to enjoy this moment. I did. And it was all because of going home. And I'm not ready to let it go. I'm really not. I'm not ready.
Don't let it go. And we hope, you know what? And I hope you come back every year.
You know what? It's interesting you say that. I have every intentions of buying a table from this day forward.
Yes.
I will be there. I'm going to buy ads in the book because I didn't know there was ads in the book. I'm going to do that. Yes, ma'am. That is you can count on me as like, oh yeah, that's Victoria. I plan on getting my tables. Yes, ma'am. I will be. Matter of fact, I've already picked out the dress. I did. Dress and shoes. Okay, I know that might seem, but
we're at 53 minutes. So you just brought up my next. I'm getting ready to flip all of this. All of this is getting ready to get flipped. What's the freaking secret?
What trying to tell you?
What is the freaking secret?
All of this. All of that.
All of this.
I tell you, this is the grace of God.
You've already picked out the dress, so you don't have the problem everybody else has because everybody, all the rest of us got to wait till the last minute to pick out the dress because we don't know how much if we're gonna get in the dress, if we ain't gonna get in. You know, I've been working out since May to get in that dress that I got in at the game.
You look great. You look fantastic. I'm still looking like this beautiful woman. What I'm thinking, okay, she's millennium. She's young, and then when we're walking out and leaving, and you start talking about kids, I'm going, wait a minute, hold on for a second. I'm looking at Barry, looking at you. Barry, like she's older than what? No way. But no, I've all the glory to God. I have been the same size for the most part ever since the Gladiators. Pound or two of there. So I've got tons and tons of clothes. So if y'all ever need anything, you all just look my way. You think I'm joking? I will send it to you. I will send it to you. Shoes and all. If you wear my size, you got it. No doubt about it. But I give it all the glory to God because, I get up in the mornings. I'm an early riser. I get up at 2:00 in the morning. I go to bed at 9 o'clock at night. They call us short sleepers. I don't sleep. I've probably been sleeping 4 hours since college. I don't sleep.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. I don't drink. I don't smoke. It's just, as an analyst, we're always thinking. We always got something going on. And once I go to sleep and I wake up, I'm thinking, so I can't go back to sleep.
Okay.
And so it just kicks off.
I'm kind of like that too. I'm kind of like that.
See? There you see. Yeah. So that's what it is.
So you bodybuild back in the day.
Yes.
Do you still lift? Like what is your workout? Do you still work out, or is this just all just maintenance at this time?
Right, because I'm trying to.
This is gold.
I do work
tell
out.
everybody how old you are?
Yeah, I don't mind. It's because it's a great
60 freaking 2.
The glory to God.
That's
oh my God.
Yeah. So
that's gold. I can't wait to. Ooh,
you are too kind.
I'm looking like that at 62. You ain't gonna be tell me nothing.
Listen here.
Y'all gonna be popping my head with a pen.
They're gonna be like, oh, wait a minute, whose PR person is this? Listen here.
Y'all are too sweet, but
I see more thighs than a chicken joint. I get this body back in shape.
I don't think that once I accepted that award and everything, shoo, you better believe I did smoothies, 2 smoothies, making sure I get my protein in. I drink pH water. I did that for like 4 months. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I do cardios. I run stairs and lunges I love it like candy. I'll do it AM, PM, whenever I can get it done. When it comes to weight training, especially when we get in this age, it's very, 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 very important. I don't care what color you are. Weight training is big time. You have to do weight training. That's what gives the body structure. That's what gives the body lift and separation, broader shoulders, smaller waist. It all comes down to the weight training. But don't think that food isn't important. Weight training to me is 10% of the whole game. 90% of it is
the diet. Yes, it
really is. Yeah. I mean, it's the worst case scenario, because I used to be a trainer. And I tell them all the time, there's 2 things you need to focus on. You need to focus on the training, but you also need to focus on food. But if you cannot do the 2 together, focus on the food, because the food, I mean, if you think about it, and this is probably a bad way to kind of look at it, but when you have people who haven't eaten or have not had anything to eat, what do? They get smaller. So you have to incorporate a meal, but you have to know what kind of meals. I used to tell somebody one time, I said, I can eat a Snickers and still lose weight. And they said, well, how do you do that? You have to learn how to ratio the protein. I can have a Snickers and put so much protein with it, and it helps counteract it. You shouldn't do it all the time because of the insulin that it introduces into your body. But if it's one of those, what we call the cheat day, you want to throw that Snicker down or what have you, throw some protein behind it, and you practically be forgiven. Yep, you can be forgiven about it. It's all in how you play with your food. I promise you. But when I come to Kentucky, I can't wait to move back. I really I know it's sad to say, but I'm gonna talk to my boss when I get back, and I call it 155. He said, "What's 155?" I'll fill out the story, but I'm going to be retiring soon. I just think I want to get home and spend time with my family, develop relationships.
Oh my God. You moving back to Lexington when you retire?
I am. Yep.
Oh, we getting ready to be besties.
Yeah. Yep. I'm moving back.
You come back to Lexington.
Yep, I'm gonna be there. I'm
just gonna be like, where you at? You know, I'm going with Jazz.
like, I'm going out with Coach Terry. What are you talking about? Hey, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so look forward to being a part of this wonderful community. You know, Jennifer and Bobby have created.
Oh my God, you definitely got to come on board with Layshaw. It is the absolute best.
Anything I can do, I'm on board.
Outside of the coaching, it is one of the best projects I have ever been a part of in my life because of just the importance of and seeing just hearing your story, just how it made you feel when you got the call and how it made you feel when you walked the red carpet, just being back home, being recognized by your own.
That's what I'm talking about too. You know, for a community from the beginning into now. Oh my God, I could not share the story enough when they made the call. I mean, I was, you know, everybody's got a few enemies here and there. I couldn't wait to rub it in. Oh, Lord of mercy. I was like, yeah, I'm strong. Oh boy, every chance I got, I was like, woo! I even took a picture, showed them the dress. Look at the dress. Right. Like, I can't wait till you leave. I was like, leave. Wait till I come back.
I got my dress. Yeah, I know that's right. That's just banging. Woo! I said, whoa.
Oh, I mean, they have propelled me to another level, and I'm so excited.
I love it. I can't wait. And I'm going to mention that we're at an hour, so we got to.
It does not seem like we've been here for an hour.
We got to shut it down. So I am going to put up. I think I got. Danny, can you put Layshaw on there somewhere or whatever? Because right now, guys, before we leave, so Victoria, we inducted her into our Lexington African-American Sports Hall of Fame. She was already at her high school's Hall of Fame, but we created the Lexington Hall of Fame because there were just people, sports athletes like her that are absolute legends that have not been recognized. And that's why we created it, right? But right now, you can actually go to the website and induct someone else. Because I asked them, I said, well, who was the one that inducted, that nominated you? So you can go to the website now and nominate other people that you think that should be added. And of course, in your area, you'll probably know about people that maybe you looked up to that we don't know them. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the people that were inducted, I'm not from Lexington, so I'm just getting to, like, I didn't know, I knew of you, but of course I didn't know that you were from Lexington, didn't know your story, didn't know your back. All I knew was Jazz.
Oh my God.
The Gladiators, right? And so just getting to know and reading your bio and as we were going through the process with who we were going to induct, it was just a no-brainer to add you.
I appreciate you guys.
This early on into the game. This is just our second one. Right. But just early into the game, it was just a no-brainer to add you. But I'm pretty sure you'll be able to help us to educate us on who we're missing or who that needs to be there or who, you know, I would love for you to come on board with that. And I can't wait till you come back home.
Oh, I'm coming.
I hope this makes you accelerate that process.
That's just it. I was gonna stay a couple more years. But you know, it's gonna be a downsizing things. I have to move away, you know, get rid of all these cars, that sort of stuff. But this has given me momentum, and it's you know, it's time to move on to do some other stuff. And I'm just excited to come back to a community that has honored me. I'm looking forward to being a part of whatever I can do to enrich other people's lives. And all you have to do is just text me or call me. I promise I will be more on point of looking forward to hearing from you guys.
Jennifer says, we're glad you are coming back home. So
that's what it is.
I am not from Kentucky. I actually now live in Louisiana, but I'm looking forward to making the trip. Hopefully to next year's Layshaw Gala and induction ceremony. But man,
I gotta tell you this real quick. I gotta tell you, I'm sorry. So my son plays for Kentucky. He starts, like, he plays. So the game, so the game was in Nashville. They played Vanderbilt, and I told Jen, I was like, oh my God, it's the same day as the gala.
Mhm.
I was crushed because I'm going to go. So I went to the game. I left in the third quarter. I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, got my face done, wore a whole full face during the game, drove up because I did not want to miss you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
I did not want to miss
Oh my
meeting you, and of course, I got Leslie and all the other.
She had
I
us
did not
all
want to miss the
praying
gala
too.
at all.
She had us all praying
I
too
am.
that game was a noon or earlier game because
Yes, we all touched and agreed on that one.
we
was
were
like,
literally
Lord,
like,
please make this a 12 o'clock game.
like
Because
this has
if
to
it
be
wasn't a 12 o'clock game,
game.
I would not have been able to make the gala.
Oh man. I am so see. This is what I'm talking about. When anytime when people will celebrate you and still tolerate you, that is. I'm serious. That says volumes to how you honor people. I'm telling you, I can't say enough. That's wonderful, girl.
Well,
we're gonna be besties when I get back. We're gonna be besties before that.
We're gonna be okay.
Yeah, we're gonna hate you. This is gonna be the girls' night.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, or we'll be here all night messing around with you. So we're gonna end the broadcast. Guys, everybody, thank you. I'm gonna call you Jazz. Thank you, Jazz.
Thank you, Jazz.
Being our special guest today, for honoring us, because I know you said that everybody's been calling and wanting to interview you, and you've been turning everybody down. You didn't know me from Adam, but you still accepted my invitation. I appreciate that so much. Absolutely. It has been a joy. I want to thank Jennifer and Connie and
thank you guys
for all responding on. My girl Ellen Austin came on and she said that Victoria, it was looking amazing. And just thank you, Danny, for helping us to bring this podcast, because she's the one that talked me into doing this whole podcast that Danny did. So I appreciate that. So I want to thank everybody for that. Please like and subscribe to us. Watch us on YouTube at Hits and Heels and subscribe. And we're gonna log off and we out.
We out. Thank y'all so much. We'll see you next Wednesday, same time, for episode 7 already of season 5.
Oh yeah, I already got my team coming back next year. So next week is the DCD will be on because it's the national tryout for the women's football alliance next on the 14th of October, right?
And
so Victoria, we're gonna log off, but don't go nowhere. My husband said he's got another question, but don't log off.
Oh, cool.
All right, y'all. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central for another episode of Hits and Heels with our special guest from Derby City Dynamite. We want to thank Jazz for joining us tonight. Make sure, like Terry said, go to youtube.com/@Hits and Heels. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook. And we will see y'all next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, for another episode 7 of Hits and Heels. Thank you all so much. God bless you and have a great night.
Thank you, Coach Terry. Good night.
All right. Don't go nowhere.